What is up, guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, super welterweight contender Tszyu defeats Takeshi Inoue by a lopsided 12-round unanimous decision. First and foremost, I'll say this was very good matchmaking for Tszyu. He's a guy who is on the verge of a world title shot, and these are 12 good rounds in the bank for Tszyu. He was made to work, he was extended 12 rounds, and all in all, I think this is some really good experience for Tszyu before he truly steps up to world level. Ultimately, I think Tim needed this sort of fight, quite frankly, and also a big shout out to Takeshi Inoue. That guy, man, he's as tough as nails. He's got a granite chin. He'll keep on coming. He'll keep on trying. He'll keep on trying to land shots. The guy is as tough as nails. He's not a world-class fighter by any means, but I would describe him as a really good gatekeeper to top 10 level. He's one of those guys where if you're not good enough, if you're not at a certain level, he could expose you. And yeah, Tszyu, in my opinion, did a pretty good job in this fight. If we compare him to Jaime Munguia, who also fought Takeshi Inoue, I felt Tszyu did a better job, quite frankly. Both guys won their fights, but I think Tim did it more clearly and more wide. Just my opinion. But yeah, Tszyu in this fight maintained his usual style of trying to stalk, essentially from range. He'll try and keep you at arm's length and walk you down, measuring with a jab and looking for that big powerful right hand. And he was having success with that shot early on. At times, Inoue was doing a pretty good job of blocking that shot and blocking the jab with his high guard, but nevertheless, some of those big shots were still getting through and rocking the head back of Takeshi Inoue. It was one of those fights where Tszyu was in control all the way through, but Takeshi Inoue was making him work, and on occasion, Inoue would have success. So for example, in I think it was round 2, Takeshi Inoue landed a couple of good shots, in particular a flush left hook that was clean as anything. Tszyu took it really well, but a great shot by Takeshi Inoue. And also something similar happened in the mid-rounds. I think it was round 6 or round 7, where Takeshi Inoue landed a really good flush straight right hand on the chin of Tszyu. Once again, Tszyu took it really well, didn't really budge him, and Tszyu continued to march forwards and walk down Takeshi Inoue. There were moments in this fight where Tszyu, I think, had Takeshi Inoue hurt. Not hurt on the point to where he was going to get knocked out or anything like that, but he definitely hurt him on a few occasions. Round 3, for example, he landed a really good straight right hand on Takeshi Inoue, really rocked the head back and followed up with a nice uppercut on Inoue, but Inoue took it really well. Round 5 was another really dominant round for Tszyu. He was closing the range, stalking really well, landed a big right hand on Inoue in the 5th round, and in round 5 he made Inoue actually clinch a few times. Inoue was definitely feeling those shots. Round 7, in my opinion, was the hardest round for Inoue. Tszyu rocked the head back with several clean right hands to the head, and also in round 7, Tszyu was landing some really good body shots, and for a moment, it looked like he had Takeshi Inoue going. Nevertheless, Takeshi Inoue, he got through it. Tszyu couldn't capitalise on when he hurt Inoue, and Inoue continued to fight on, to fight valiantly, and ultimately to do the best he could. After round 8, Tszyu definitely slowed down. He wasn't throwing quite as many punches, and he wasn't throwing with the intensity in which he threw with previously, but ultimately he was still in control for the majority of these rounds, and he was still well in charge. In fact, in round 12 he actually scored a knockdown. However, the referee made a mistake on this occasion, because essentially what happened, they was in the clinch. Inoue tried to break away and get out, and then he got caught with a right hand on his shoulder, and Inoue went down. It wasn't a knockdown. The punch landed on Inoue's shoulder, so he was hard done by there, but nevertheless, it didn't make any difference to the result because Tszyu won this fight clearly on points. Maybe you could have given Takeshi Inoue 2 rounds, in my opinion, but not really, honestly, not much more than that. This was a decisive victory for Tszyu, and in my opinion, he got the rounds he needed as of right now. So yeah, a pretty good performance by Tszyu. And when you compare it to Jaime Munguia, I certainly don't think it's a stretch to say Tszyu did a better job. But right now, Tszyu is calling out everybody at 154. He's actually mandatory for Brian Castano in the WBO. I think that'd be a great fight. He also said he wants to fight Jermell Charlo. I think right now, Tszyu gives those guys really good fights. I'm not saying he wins or anything like that, but Tszyu is definitely a worthy title challenger as of this point in time. However, in like an ideal world, I would still say Tszyu maybe needs one more fight before he fights the likes of a Charlo or a Castano. Maybe a guy who's been there, been a world champion, you know, that sort of guy. Maybe someone like Tony Harrison. They was talking about that fight previously. I think that'll be the ideal fight for Tszyu before he fights Brian Castano, before he fights Jermell Charlo. However, if he fights one of those guys next, I think he'll make for a good fight, and I'll definitely be interested. And all in all, I felt Tszyu looked pretty good. His gas tank towards the end, maybe a little concerning, maybe he could work on that, but all in all, Tszyu is a good fighter. He does the basics pretty well. He carries decent power, good accuracy, he's nice and patient. His footwork has definitely got a lot better since his early fights. And yeah, I think he's a good fighter. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.